Welcome back, Bravehearts. So today what we're going to be doing is we're having a live Q&A, okay, on the advanced water fast, okay. I want to talk about that in a second, okay. But just so everybody knows, we're here in Ixtapa, Mexico. Monday we're starting a New World Practitioner certification. That's a whole life coach. Then we're going to be doing a Wolfe non-surgical. And then we're actually going to be doing and adding to it a pain-free pelvis course, disease prevention course for women, which will, I believe, we will have within about a year and a half, 50 women traveling around the world doing this 3-day women's course called Pain-Free Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention. Because guess what? Mankind is not kind. Every woman is sexually, emotionally, and physically tormented in her pelvis. And it's meant to be that way. Women bring life into the world, don't they? Yes or no? They are the caregivers of the world. And mankind is a manipulator and has done anything to do to weaken the feminine power. If feminine power was ruling like it ruled over 5,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, the church came together with government and decided to not just have countries go to war, not just have different colors of people go to war, different religions go to war, but they actually got man and woman to go to war with each other. It took me till 40 years old to actually respect a woman that she was a spirit being. 40 years. So don't tell me that the rest of you men that haven't been taking whole life coach courses, because I've been doing only about 10 a year. I did my first one when I was 27. Don't tell me that we weren't indoctrinated. Don't tell me that we respect women, because we don't. After I do this world tour, I will not be doing the Braveheart circles. I'll be doing them for 1 year, and then my master trainers will be taking over. After this year, when I finish off in New York, I will be doing what's called Braveheart Teenage Circle, and that's what I will be doing for the rest of my time, plus the whole life coach. I will be doing nothing else. I don't think there's really any hope for adults. They're adulterated. Teenagers, yes. I always say this, that if teenagers were to raise children, they wouldn't be so screwed up. It's not your fault. You've just had longer time to be programmed. You think I'm kidding? Most of you will tell me that you've got a great diet and you don't. Most people that come here, they cheat like crazy. Most people that come here with chronic diseases cheat like crazy. I had some people this week go, this isn't working for me. I'm not getting what I want. Well, that's because they don't know how to take massive personal action, and God loved them anyway. They will not take responsibility because they don't even know how, because you've been programmed to off yourself and everybody else in your family. And that's the God's truth. People think, oh my God, I can't stand Dr. Wolfe. Look, if you want to get stroked, go somewhere else. When I close this down on February the 21st, we are not reopening until we open up what's called a showcase clinic. When people come to us with a condition, we're going to go, I am going to actually have a consultation with everyone, and I will say, this is what I believe you should do. If you're 20% off the marker of what I want, you can come. Turn me on? Come on, Rafa, you know how to turn me on. Testing. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So here's the deal. I want you to take a good look at the world for the first time in your life. We all came from the same creator, so get over it. We're all going to return there, whatever that is, and nobody knows. You know, when I go on here and I go, you know what? I don't know what God is. People go on, what's wrong with him? Well, because I don't believe it's in a book. We are high energy, electrical magnetic, light energy beings. So You can't even fathom what God is. If you even had a glimpse of it, you'd be a puddle on the floor. You wouldn't be able to take it. Not in these meat suits. You wouldn't be able to. It'd be too much. And don't tell me that you come here and you eat right, think right, do right. You're not going to do that right away. So I apologize to everybody that I've ever taken their money. Because unless we are training more than treating, unless we are holding the line, the next clinic I have will be only 1/4 the size, and we will have a success rate from everything from hemorrhoids to cancer that nobody will be able to touch. Because when you can actually teach that person to love, honor, and respect themselves, what most people don't even get when they come here. They think it's some kind of a fortune cookie thing, one love, one law, unconditional love. I don't even see it around here. You know, people play with it a little bit. It's not your fault. You've been programmed to terrorize yourself, to terrorize your family, to judge your family, not to observe them, not to have unconditional love. You're not getting there. You're never going to get there. Most of you know, I've got people here that are going to be here for a month, 2 months. They wouldn't think of taking a whole life coach course. They're not worth it. I'm going to talk like I want to because guess what? I'm going to talk like I want to because it's the talk we need. Does anybody know why Jesus was murdered? Don't you dare tell me the reason that everybody says. He was murdered because he came and tried to teach unconditional love. He was a truth slayer. And I'm not comparing myself, so don't even think I am. I'm not even close. I never will be. I get it. But the reality is I do what I do, and I do it for me. Because I know that I am a vibrational being. And if I am not working on myself and I can't vibrate high enough to get out of this meat suit or to, you know what? You wouldn't be sick. You wouldn't have pains. You wouldn't have disease. You wouldn't have a headache. You wouldn't have any problems if you loved yourself. That's the bottom line. That's all you ever had to do. But let me see if your partner's going to let you do that. Let me see if your children's going to, let me see if your mommy and daddy's going to let you do that. You need to get that. You know, I am so glad that I am so successful. I've got people that hate me, that want to see this destroyed. It's not going to happen. It's not in the universal cards. Don't care what you think about me. I've never done anything wrong to you. But you go ahead. Twist it around how I wasn't there enough for you. I only give my phone number out to the world. I don't hear it ringing. The day that you take massive personal action and say, I am going to love this being. The day that you know from the minute you rise until you close your eyes that you make unconditional love decisions. How many people here define themselves as a mother, a great businessman? Well, you better stop it. You're a light energy being, and that's the first and foremost. I am not a father. I am not a husband. I am not somebody's partner. I am a light energy electrical magnetic being. I am not a man. I'm an electrical magnetic energy being. I will not be labeled. I am not part of any religion. There is no color for me. There is no religions for me. So if anybody wants their money back and don't want to start on Monday, you can go and do that. I'm going to live with truth, and I am never going to compromise myself ever again for money. And I never did before, but now I'm going to let people know that I will not be responsible for loving you. I will unconditionally love you, no matter what you think of me. But wouldn't it be great if you did that for yourself? And then there's so many of you that will take the course once, the whole life coach, and then you're just comfortable there. And then you stagnate. Let me tell you something. If superconsciousness expansion was your goal, what a life you'd have. I don't care if there's 5 people to come to my course. I will know they belong there. You have to understand, my first whole life coach class, my first non-surgical class, Wolfe non-surgical, I did when I was 27 years old. Even if I'm as dumb as a stump. Every time I teach a course. So when you come to the course, you might want to take it sooner, because as I grow more, I'm going to say more, do more, and I'm going to hold the line more for you. So go ahead, have a tantrum if you want. Doesn't matter. Who does he think he is? Absolutely nobody. But do not try to blame anybody for the dis-ease, which means out of harmony, which means not honoring your spirit being. And please get it. This is a life-threatening adventure down here. For God's sakes. You know how many people in here are taking drugs right now? I bet you 50 to 70%. And they won't show it. How many people have addictions in here that smoke and toke and drink and have to lean on these things? I'm not condemning you, not judging you. The reality is most people are never going to reach it. And most of you just want to get out of pain. You don't care about finding your true self. Why? Because you'd have to break away from your wife or your husband. What about all your friends? Well, you're only like you are because of your friends. And you're never going to change unless you have new friends. You're never going to change unless you talk differently, unless you walk differently, unless you eat differently, unless you drink differently, unless you change your habits. You know, people actually think I'm arrogant because I know what I want. I have never, ever told anybody what to do. But I'm not going to let people come in and just ruin my passion, my purpose, my dream. I got to hold the line on that. Remember something, when somebody comes into your life, they're bringing their personality in, which they're probably not going to change, Tito, unless they work on it. Or they're going to bullshit you and pretend they change, right, Tito? That didn't work well, did it? So when I say something to you, I'm not coming from a higher point. I'm coming from the same level as you. I'm no better than you. I'm no worse than you. I thought we were supposed to be family. I tell every one of my staff and everybody, just tell the truth about me. You know, if you can help me, if you see something, help me grow. You say you want to grow, but then nobody's allowed to help you. .9% of the population has a 4-inch consciousness. Got to understand something. Boy, you guys, IT guys, better get this volume right. You got to understand something. 90 years ago, 90% of the food did not exist. 90 years ago, 90% of all the diseases did not exist. Can you use a little bit of logic here? I just gave you the answer. How many people know that every major food corporation is owned by a tobacco company? Did you get that? Okay. So you need to understand this. And understand something. Here we go. Nobody can do a water fast today unless you want to suffer. You're going to have so much pain and so many aches. Why? Well, in Jesus' time, he could pull off a 40-day one. It wasn't because he was overweight, which means nobody's overweight. People are overinfected. People are overinflamed, and it's infected and inflamed here first. Jesus did not do a fast because he needed to lose weight. Jesus did a fast to enlighten himself, to bring up his vibration. I want super consciousness. I want answers. I want to be strong and be at peace for my brothers and sisters. Today you do an advance. Well, today go do a water fast and see how it kicks your ass. It'll knock you apart. You guys are, you know what? You are so full of GMOs, so full of chemicals. You know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to try to do this in code. Anybody notice?